Go ahead and grab your cup of tea or coffee, because you know what day it is. There's a topic I've been really wanting to discuss on the channel, and given that it's Earth Day in just a few days, we're gonna do it. Today's chat is gonna be about decreasing our environmental footprint. There are two main reasons I've been a bit reluctant to talk about this in the past. For one, I'm not a leader in the game at this myself. I'm not zero waste, and there's a lot I'm still learning. And the other reason is that it can be a bit of a touchy subject, so I'm gonna take the opportunity right now to say that we're gonna make this video and the comment section below a safe space to discuss any experiences that we've had or any tips that we might have. When I first started Pickup Limes, my focus was specifically about plant-based nutrition and minimalism. I was really happy actually knowing that these kinds of practices were helping to contribute to a healthier planet. But slowly and over time, you guys actually were the ones that were starting to bring to my attention ways that I could be even more conscious in ways that weren't even on my radar. So for example, in one video, I wrapped my cookies in plastic wrap to store in the freezer. And in a vlog to Indonesia, I had some drinks that were served with plastic straws in them. And in another minimalism video, I mentioned using microfiber cloths, which then some of you taught me can pollute our water sources. I actually really appreciated those comments, especially the ones that were shared in a positive and in a constructive way, because it is true. The more we become aware of our practices, the more we can try to improve them. Sometimes it can seem petty and small, but if each of us makes even the smallest of changes, then together and in numbers, it can mean pretty big changes. So aside from sharing some of the more obvious tips, like let's use less plastic and remember to bring our tote bags to the grocery store when we're shopping, I want to share just a few tips that I think aren't mentioned as often. And these are tips that I think that are small changes that can make a really big impact. So for starters, trying to adopt more of a plant-based diet. I think this is one of the most impactful things any one of us can do. There was an assessment done by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations where they indicated that the livestock sector in itself contributes to more global greenhouse gas emissions than any other form of transportation. And when looking at the production of protein sources from foods, the emissions to produce beef are 250 times greater than when we want to produce legumes per gram of protein. Not to mention that 80% of the Amazon deforestation is for raising cattle. And the list goes on. And a study published in the journal Nature found that we could decrease 80% of our global greenhouse gas emissions from food production if the global diet switched to more of a vegetarian diet. Now imagine if they had done that study for vegan diets. But all this just to say that if there's any way you can include more beans and lentils, nuts and seeds, or plant-based milks and yogurts into your diet, the planet will thank you for it. And so will your body and the animals. Here's another super quick and easy substitute. There is a free search engine that you can use as a substitute to Google that plants trees just because you're browsing the net. The search engine is called Ecosia, and here's how it works. You search the web using Ecosia, search ads then generate revenue for them, and then they use this income to plant trees in hotspots around the globe. They've already planted over 25 million trees, and they're aiming to get to 1 billion by the year 2020, and we can help them get there just by browsing the net. So I've partnered with them to create a custom link just for our community. Feel free to check out the link in the description box below. Now, the last item I want to discuss is one I get questions about all the time. For someone who's trying to be more environmentally conscious, I do travel a fair bit because traveling is just one of those things I really truly value, but we all know that those planes are emitting some things that are just not good for the environment. So my focus is to do the best that I can within the realm of getting from point A to point B. So for example, one thing I always try to do is opt for airlines that offer carbon neutral flights, like KLM for instance. So for an extra fee on top of the cost of my flight, the airline will invest in reforestation projects that compensate for the emissions of me having been on that plane. Then when I arrive to whatever destination I'm at, I always try to walk and cycle whenever I can, then maybe use some public transportation before needing to opt for anything like a car. So like I said, I am no expert when it comes to environmental sustainability, but I don't think that we need to be to start making some incremental changes. And using less plastic and eating more plants, traveling smart, and planting trees with our web searches, these are just a few of the many ways that we can decrease our waste or give back to the environment in some way. But there are many more ways, and I welcome you to share that with us in the comments section below, remembering to keep it a safe and happy place. And that's pretty much it. I look forward to learning from you guys. Thanks for enjoying this cup of tea with me. Happy Earth Day. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you in the next video.